Hi guys! Say salam.
Salam. Hi.
I'm sitting here with Jamie and you have no idea how special and beautiful and amazing Jamie is. What we're gonna be doing today is we're gonna talk about Jamie's story. She started her business from her living room and then sold it for more than $1 billion. So I'm sitting right now with a billionaire. It's not just about the money, but it's about how someone can start something in their living room and turn it into something crazy and mega. It's just an amazing success story, and I think a lot of the people watching us probably have ideas or dream projects, and what better than sitting with someone who went through it. So first of all, thank you for sitting with us and giving us your time.
Yeah,
Shukran.
Yes.
Shukran. You know what shukran means?
Share with me, I don't.
Thank you.
I'm just trusting you. I'm going with it.
Thank you. So Jamie, let's start from the beginning of your story. How did it all start?
Yeah, so it's funny, like sometimes we have these problems in our life and we think like, oh, this is like a setback. And really it's like happening to you for a reason, right? And so for me, I got rosacea, which is the skin condition. It's bright red, there's no cure for it. And that was when I started trying every different makeup out there, and none of them would actually cover it without looking like a mask. And so that's when I became kind of obsessed with understanding like, how's makeup made? What can I do to solve this problem? Because there might be so many other women out there and men that have just given up on it. So it was kind of like I took this thing that I thought was a setback, but then it like fueled me to go, okay, wait, how can I create something different? And then the journey, oh my gosh, I want to share this. You guys, if any of you have an idea or like a dream, one of the biggest lessons, because it's funny, I'm listening to you talk about the journey, right? Which is like starting in your living room. How do you go from your living room to $1 billion business? And I think the biggest thing I did right was figure out how to believe that I could, right? Because that's the biggest thing, is we sometimes think like, I don't belong there. I don't belong as a CEO, or I don't belong.
Who am I to even like do something like that?
And figure out how to overcome that. But then once you know what your dream is and what you want to do, keep your blinders on to what everyone else is doing. Because that's the biggest thing, is when you get distracted, like, oh, maybe this person's doing it and it's like hot right now, but if that's not authentic to who you are, it'll never win.
This is key.
And as we grew, it was interesting because the first several years, all of the big retail stores and beauty experts all said the idea wasn't gonna work. And I know now it's because this idea hadn't been done before. So of course there's no social proof in their head that says, oh yeah, it's gonna be a home run. But I thought for a while, wait, they're all saying no, or they're all saying it's not a good idea. And I started to doubt myself in the beginning, and I had to stay true to that authentic dream. And now I realize, you know, doing something different, I think, comes with the greatest opposition in the beginning, because your friends or your family or the experts out there, they're not like on board right away. And you're like, wait, am I crazy? Do I have this dream that no one understands? But like the greatest companies and like the greatest ideas that impact the world a lot of times start with these ideas that like no one else understands. So if that's you right now, I just want to say, if it's authentic to your heart and your soul, and you like feel like you're born to do something or have this dream, stick with it, because literally it's how every great thing happens, is that resiliency, that determination, and still going despite all the rejection.
So what Jamie has is a cosmetics company that she now sold called It Cosmetics. When you first started, did you know how to make makeup?
No, I just knew I had a problem that I like needed a solution for. And so sometimes you don't know how to do something. Like let's say you have a goal or a dream, you're like, how do I make this happen? But maybe instead of thinking how, you think who, right? Who can I reach out and ask? Who can I, you know, get as a mentor? One of the things that you can do, that I did actually earlier in my career, is you can even say like, I will work for free if you teach me.
And who did you go to in the beginning to help you create the makeup?
So I called everyone I know, basically, and I just started going online. That's the biggest blessing about the year 2020, right? I mean, everything is online. So I just did my homework York and figured out, okay, there's cosmetic manufacturing conventions, and you can just go and you meet everyone and who they make makeup for, and they're often free to get into.
Really?
And yeah, so, and I think Google is the biggest blessing for entrepreneurs with ideas.
How old is that journey when you went from your living room to selling it for more than $1 billion? How long did it take?
8 years.
8
until
years.
We sold, yeah. 8
and
years.
From when you started in your living room, how many years did it take until it became successful?
It took me 3 years to pay myself. So for 3 years, I lived off very little savings. There's these frozen yogurt shops in California, which is where we were, and I would go and get like the free samples. And like every penny went into the business, and we were getting very few orders a day, and it was enough orders to pay the bill. So it was 3 years before we could pay ourselves. And I think like, had we ever spent cash irresponsibly in the beginning or on flashy stuff, we would have gone out of business.
No way.
Yeah, so.
Oh my God, this is so key, guys.
And it's hard because we now, especially nowadays, are in the social media world where everything looks so flashy. Yeah. And you think like, oh, I need to spend all this money and have things look good, and that's the wrong priority, because you need to stay cash flow positive and stay in business in the beginning.
Oh my God, I actually wanted to ask you about that.
Nothing was glamorous in the first several years.
Even if you live in Dubai.
I know, right? Which is hard. You cannot build a successful business long term unless you stay cash flow positive, right? Otherwise you go bankrupt. So I think it's all about, okay, what's my biggest goal? If your biggest goal is to impact the world, like you inspire so many girls, so many women, right? And when you think, okay, so how can I reach that big goal? Sometimes for a while, you might not be buying everyone dinner. And I encourage you guys, like go dig up everyone's real story of people who truly built stuff a lot of times, right?
High five to that.
It's not the glamorous, so you have to really think about what, you know, your long-term priorities are.
So don't also be afraid to like live rough for a while, I guess, right?
Yep. Because all it hurts is your own ego. That's it. So what's more important, your ego or this vision you have?
So like as a billionaire now, do you care about wearing all brands and stuff?
I mix it all up. I mix it all up. And I love you're asking this, because there's something, especially with women, women are like not comfortable talking about money or even showing their success. And I actually struggled with it in the beginning. I hid everything, like when Forbes would first start writing articles, I was like embarrassed about it. But then I had this realization, like, wait a minute, my whole life I've looked to other women and other success stories to believe it's possible for me. Like so many of you might be watching Haifa going, oh my gosh, this is possible for me to go out and change the world and travel and heal humanity through love, right? Like you have to see it sometimes to believe it. And I had this realization, wait a minute, if I hide my success, then all these other girls and women out there, they're not gonna see another woman that shows it's possible for them. And you know what I love that just reminded me of something? Women are freaked out and scared to fail, and we wait until things are perfect, and we totally think that we have every qualification to then ask for a raise or to go after a bigger job. And all these studies are showing now that men will ask for a raise or go after a job or things when they meet about 60 to 70% of the qualifications, but that women wait until they meet 100% of the qualifications. So the only problem is then that's sort of like holding you back. So I think like being aware of that is huge. Don't be afraid to fail. I have failed, Haifa, at so many things. I made mistakes. That's the only way I built $1 billion company. Not waiting till you feel like I have everything perfectly lined up. Now I'm gonna launch my podcast, or oh, I have everything perfectly. Now I'm gonna start working on my idea. No,
this
like
feels
go
like
for
freedom.
it now. Yes.
Actually, while a lot of people think perfectionism is the answer, I think it's the biggest obstacle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's one takeaway from, I'm getting so fired up. I want to like
love it. More fire, baby. Hit the
if there is any girl or woman watching this right now, if they can just take that one thing away, life-changing. And maybe it's even like having the courage to like ask someone out on a date or go make a new friend. A lot of people just like wait till do it imperfectly.
And how did you find the balance between taking inside some constructive criticism versus destructive?
Yeah, it's your gut. And your gut is always stronger than anyone else's
And
advice.
as women, we have that a lot. And I think it's one of our most powerful assets as women. Everyone watching this, just hold your tummy here and thank your gut, because your gut is one of your biggest compasses on all of that. But we always hit the wall when we don't listen to it. I want to ask you also, Jamie, what are the top 3 mistakes that you made while building your own business?
Top 3 mistakes. I would say not firing people quick enough when they had bad energy or negativity. That one is tough. If they have a victim mentality or that negative toxic energy, it's not savable. And
it hurts people.
It hurts people and it's contagious and it spreads. Another mistake that we made also was the temptation to grow too fast or go into too much distribution, because once you start making people money and you start having success, everyone wants you, because then they can make money off your idea or your product. And so I think there was this moment where we were tempted, oh wait, all of these retailers now finally want us. And we started going down that road of going, do we go in all these stores? And then we sort of had this realization, no wait, you know what, let's grow really smart. Let's make sure that wherever you do go, you can protect your branding, how you communicate with your customers, all of that. So I think an easy mistake is to try and be everything to everyone all of a sudden. And then the third mistake was not delegating soon enough, right?
You're just hitting me. You are just hitting me.
Well, because like at the end of the day, when it's like your idea, your dream, you're like, I care more than anyone else. I want it to be like this, look like this, but you can't do it all.
Or you get afraid to pay people because you're like, I'm gonna lose that money. And I'd rather just do it all myself.
Yeah, but then, you know, when you take on everything yourself, it can really take a toll on your creativity.
Yeah.
There's a saying like, only do the things that only you can do. And so what are those things?
That you can delegate.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw an all-air party on you, Jamie. Okay, I have one more important question. So guys, Jamie referred to her husband so many times. What's your husband's name? Paulo, and he's Brazilian?
Yeah.
So my question, my friend, how was it to actually work with your husband?
Super hard.
Right?
Super, super hard. And so many people have always said, like I've always heard people say, never work with your friends or your family because it blurs the lines. And the toughest part is they're like the person you trust the most, right? You think like, oh, this makes so much sense to go into business with my friend or family because I trust them. But the hard part is when it's like 8 at night or 9 at night and you want to just like be a partner and the other one's like, oh, did you see the cash flows came back? Or like someone throws out a bit and it almost never turns off. So that's another fourth mistake was we never figured out how to really like set boundaries between personal and work, and it is a miracle of God that we are still married and that we love each other and all those things, but it's really hard. So just like if you are gonna start something with a friend or a family member, really do your homework about it with other people that have gone through it, read about it, really think it through, because for a lot of people it does cost them that relationship.
Jamie, any last advice you want to give girls out there that have a dream?
Whether you feel like no one understands you, no one believes in you, no one understands your idea or your dream, they will one day when it's really big. And it can be, I promise you that. So just believe in yourself and have faith in why you have this dream to begin with. I don't think it's an accident if you feel like you're made for more and you have big dreams, right? So just have the courage to believe in you and to go after them.
I love that. It's not an accident if you feel like you're made for more. It's not an accident, you're not crazy. Jamie, thank you so much. I am so grateful. This was one of the most amazing sit-downs ever. I share this with any dreamers that you know of out there. Watch it when you're down. For me, one of my biggest takeaways is not to be afraid of rejection or fear of being broken down, and actually having fun with it. Problems are what we make them. Celebrate those failures or no's, or make the no into a U-turn. I'm like, yeah, and no, that's fun. It's a game. It's a no. Let me make you a U-turn, and you just get creative with that. Anyways, guys, I'm sitting here with Jamie, who is amazing, and now she's here to share with us her top tips and advices and everything. Thank you guys. Take care. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing.
Thank you.